Hi, my name is Cori. I'm a junior at Johns Hopkins University studying medicine, science, humanities, and Spanish. But I also have a lot of interest in computer science, so I spend a lot of time in that outside of the classroom. In addition, I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and we are a service organization, so a lot of my time also goes there. So I'm going to walk you guys through my typical Wednesday. So on Wednesdays I have class starting at 11 a.m. Tomorrow it so happens that I have an exam, and then another exam, and then a presentation and another presentation. But if I didn't have exams and presentations, I would be going to class pretty much back to back. And then this week is our Delta week, so we have events every night. Well, my event will be a dance class, a multicultural dance class.
So what is academic culture like at Johns Hopkins?
I would say it's pretty competitive. So for example, taking an intermediate programming class, we had this one really big project and I was stuck on one part, and I just wanted to see somebody's blueprint. And I asked one of my classmates, I was like, hey, can I check out how you decided to go about this problem? And she's like, that's against the integrity code. And I'm like, okay, never mind. But I don't know, I would say overall it's pretty competitive, but there's definitely a lot of support all around campus through resources offered by the university and then offered by smaller organizations on campus, the Office of Multicultural Affairs, or OMA for short.
So tell me about your major.
So I'm a medicine, science, and humanities in Spanish double major. So medicine, science, and humanities is all one major. Okay. And most people usually are like, wait, say it again? So for short, yeah, for short we just call it MSH. Basically it's a pretty interdisciplinary major. I've always wanted to become fluent in at least one language. And since I started off with Spanish in high school, that's what I continue with. So now I'm finishing out that major.
What are the course requirements for the medicine, science, humanities major?
Yeah, so there are a few introductory courses just into the major. And so what the major really focuses on, looking at medicine from a historical perspective. Well, not only medicine, but also the innovation of new science and technologies as well. But there are a lot of really interesting classes that kind of combine, for example, death in the future, or the history of some random, really mysterious diseases.
So what drew you to medicine, science, humanities?
I'm not really fond of medicine, but it comes with the major.
Yes.
But I really like history, and especially science, and specifically computer science, which is what I study on my own here at Hopkins, and what my internship experiences and my future hopefully will hold.
Yeah.
So legend has it that if you step on this before it's your time to graduate, you won't be graduating on time. So everyone just walks around it.
So what do you do outside of class?
I spend a lot of my time doing things with my sorority, which is Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We're a service organization, so we host a lot of events on campus that focus around service, either to students or in the community, the greater Baltimore community. So we have 5 programmatic thrusts of our organization that we try to follow when creating events. So for example, one thrust is physical and mental health. And so for our Delta Week event this week, my event will be a dance class, a multicultural dance class for students to come out and learn about different origins of dance and learn some choreography, have a good time, eat some food.
So this Sunday you spoke at a women's leadership brunch. Tell me a little bit about that. What does that program look like?
So each year, the Mu Psi chapter, which is the Johns Hopkins chapter of Delta, hosts an annual leadership brunch just to recognize women who are doing really cool things in the community, or just in general in their personal lives as well. And this year, we did something really cool that we've never done before, which is to give out awards. And so we had submissions for different types of artwork or creative works where people just describe what that means. And so whether that's a song or poem or a photo shoot or a creative album cover or something like that. It was a really good experience, just to share my story and also to let people who I don't often come in contact with kind of open up to me and know who I am.
So you were featured in a documentary called Step. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so during my senior year in high school, Amanda Lippitz, who's the director of the movie, just kind of approached us because she wanted to tell a positive story about Baltimore. It was during the time of like the uprising that happened because of Freddie Gray's death, when we were presented with the opportunity to kind of make something great and show people that there are really cool things, really good, positive things in kids coming out of Baltimore City. We all just jumped on it, and it just grew a lot more than any of us expected. It got into Sundance, and then Fox Searchlight bought it, and it won like multiple awards. And we were all just kind of taken aback because, again, you don't really see your accomplishments as something so great, but when you hear about like how people have been inspired by your story, or they see you and the struggles that you've persevered through, and now they feel that they can do it again or for themselves, that's a really cool experience.
That's really cool. So what would you say has surprised you the most about Johns Hopkins?
I don't know, I came in expecting it to be almost impossible as far as like academics, but I've found a lot of support, not only in the organizations and resources around campus, but also in just like finding friends, finding my niche, my community that supports me. Also, I'm really like impressed by how many efforts there are around campus to give back to the community, especially as somebody like from Baltimore.
So what advice would you give to high schoolers or even students younger than high school who are thinking about applying to schools like Hopkins or other schools?
I would absolutely say don't count yourself out. Personally, I wasn't even going to apply to Hopkins because I was like, it's Johns Hopkins. What do they want with me?
It's a good thing you applied though.
Yeah, it's a great thing that I applied because I'm here on a full ride. So
Yeah.
I don't have any student loans, and that was something that was really important to me coming into college. But I would definitely say don't count yourself out. Really explore your options and like shoot for the stars. Let other people tell you no. Don't like ruin the opportunity for yourself. I definitely would recommend getting on campus physically. I personally don't think it's enough to see pictures or videos or just to talk to people, because you're going to be here in the flesh, so you should want to know like how it feels. But that's not always possible. And so I would say the next best option is really like finding people who are there and like getting acquainted with them. There are pretty much Facebook groups for everything you could possibly want in the world.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's one for like prospective students of any university. Also make sure to find out if the university is offering any kind of like opportunity for you to come to campus and like spend the weekend or spend the night. So here at Hopkins we have an event called SoHop, and basically prospective students just come and stay on like overnight, and they get to shadow a current student, and it's free.
Yeah.
It's free to attend. It's for accepted students, and a precursor to SoHop is Discovery Days, which is meant for underrepresented students and like minority students on campus. And so you kind of get to have a feel for what life is like with the people who look like you, because you all are the minority on your campus. And then the next day you get to have fun with everybody. So you like definitely do your research about what kinds of resources you need, and be honest with yourself about what you are able to accomplish and what you're willing to work hard for as well. If you like this video and want to learn more about top colleges, please subscribe to Crimson Education.